Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach, brought to you by the TeacherCast Educational Network. If you are in charge of professional development and looking to build an innovative digital learning experience, this is the podcast for you. Join us each week as we uncover strategies that tech coaches are using to drive their digital transformations one classroom at a time. And now for your host, with over 2 decades of experience working with tech coaches and ed tech companies from all around the world, Jeff Bradbury.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. This is Ask the Tech Coach podcast, episode number 91. That's right. Today, we are celebrating all things distant learning, all things video conferencing. Today is the great distance learning debate, Zoom versus Google Meet. That's right. Today, we are having a competition. Really not a competition. Okay. We're having a heated debate between me and my co-host, Susan Vincent. She seems to think that Zoom is the best option for teachers. I seem to think that Google Meet is there. Today, we're going to prove her wrong, and we're going to figure out exactly why Google Meet should be in your back pocket. Every single day we have Google Meet. Susan, how are you today? Welcome to the show.
I'm great, and we'll see about that, Jeff, as we discuss through our little debate here. I'm doing great, and it's been a great week so far. Moving right along with distance learning and Zooming right along.
Those are fighting words and a pun intended right there.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I can meet you over on that one or not, if I've got to come up with one on my own. But there are a lot of great things happening here. Of course, we just had our 5th tech coach roundtable this past weekend. We had such a great time. So many different tech coaches are showing up. Some people are here for the first time. Some people are here for the 5th time. And you know what? It is great to see everybody and also get these different perspectives. I know my school district and my state of Connecticut just announced that we are going to be out until at least May the 20th. Sue, do you know anything about your fate?
Right now, we're still hanging in there with our next big announcement decision May 1st. So we'll see what our governor says.
Well, whatever it is, I know that we're all in this together. And a great place that you can be together is over on AskTheTechCoach.com. You got, of course, great blogs, great podcasts, great freebies, templates, everything on there. And I'm excited because we just posted a blog post about the best, absolute best video conferencing platform. I'm talking, of course, about Google Meet. It's not only so awesome, they just renamed it to Google Meet officially, and I think that's why it's awesome. But you know, I got to tell you, Susan, you seem to have some difficulties understanding this. You seem to think that Zoom is pretty awesome. Tell me about this. Why are you spending all this time creating videos that, by the way, are awesome? But why are you spending all this time making information about Zoom?
Well, to me, Zoom, yes, they have had issues. They have been in the news. They have had hackers, but they now have a Zoom for Education account that I'm so excited to have implemented with my school system this week. To me, just the image quality and the audio quality alone have put them in a higher echelon for me over Google Meet. And we can authenticate our users with our system now through their Google accounts. So that's been huge for us.
Wait a minute. Zoom for EDU. I've never heard of this. I thought teachers just use the free accounts.
They do, but they have just recently offered, and our tech director negotiated some pricing, and we were able to get a Zoom for Education account, and which gives us the control in a district admin dashboard to authenticate our users and to lock down some of those controls that everybody is so worried about. We have the ability as a school system to lock those down at the admin level.
Now, when you say users, are you talking teacher users or student users?
Both. We can indicate on our district dashboard in Zoom who we want to authenticate. So, you know, we have 2 different types of users. We have teacher accounts at our caschools.us, and then we have student account as a castudent.us. And then we can decide if we want to let other domains in to authenticate through our Zoom system.
You know, that sounds great, but I got to tell you, that's not as good as what we have over here on the Google Meet side. I got to tell you, Google Meet is a free application that comes complete with the free version of Google Apps for, what are we calling it? G Suite these days.
G Suite.
And not only is it free, I'm going to keep saying that, but all the administrators of your free G Suite can block everything, can allow things. There's so many great Chrome extensions that we're going to get into that make it just like I'm going to get back to you on that one. But there's so many different things that Google Meet can do. I just got done doing an amazing webinar all about the great features. And the fact that I love about Google Meet the most is that it is safe for students and it now has Google Classroom integration. Beat that. Can Zoom connect with Google Classroom?
We can put our link into Google Classroom and into our Canvas course so they can get it right away. And then you were talking about free, and you mentioned free on Zoom. It is still a free version. So teachers can sign up for a free Zoom account, and they can still do the same thing that they were doing through Zoom, setting up their own security controls, which my videos that will be on our blog post will greatly cover.
Yeah. But forget about that for a second. I'm talking about the great application that is Google Meet and the fact that you can connect with your students both in video and in audio.
We can do that.
Oh, okay. So the fact that in Google Meet, you can change the resolution of the camera that's facing you and is providing a picture of you to your students.
We can do that. And we can even change our background in Zoom. We can be at the beach or at the Golden Gate Bridge.
But Google Meet can do that too. All you need to do is you got to go to Control-Alt-Delete. You got to find the right blog post. You got to click on the Google Chrome extension. You have to install it. Then you have to realize that you have to call your administrator. But you can do all of those wonderful things in Google Meet.
In Zoom, it's right there ready for you. And we can even go to grid view right from the video conference and do not have to load a separate extension.
I was going to say, you could do that in Google Meet too. All you have to do is go to controlaltachieve.com and go to his blog post and then watch his video. And then, okay, so the point is that you can do some of these things in there too. But I got to ask, why Zoom, right? Like, why would you want to do Zoom? You're probably going to tell me something silly like breakout rooms.
Yes, we love our breakout rooms. That was one of the big things our high school teachers were asking about when I first met with one of our staffs in a Zoom call and training them on Zoom. They said, can we do breakout rooms? And at the time we were working on our security controls and authenticating all that. And now that we have Zoom for Education, that's even a better possibility because we won't have to worry about hackers. But yes, they can do breakout rooms, and it'll let them randomly divide students out, or as the teacher or the host of the meeting, you can assign your students to certain breakout rooms just as you would in your classroom.
Okay, so I think what we can agree here is that there's some great things about Google Meet, and then there's Zoom over here. So there's a few things that we can talk about in that. But when we're looking at this, let's talk about integrations, right? Because we know that with Google Meet, students have the ability to share their screens and interact with the teacher, and they also have the ability to work as a team on a given project while in class.
Yes, the sharing ability is awesome in Zoom, and the host or the teacher per se, they have the ability to share their screen, and they can either allow or not allow depending on how much security that you want to enable in your meeting. You have the ability to let the students share their screen so they can go over work and explain what they've done. Zoom also has an awesome whiteboard feature, which my math teachers at the elementary, middle, and high school level are loving.
Yeah, but Google Meet has a whiteboard too. All you have to do is go to controlaltachieve.com and check out the blog post and then watch the video and then download the Chrome extension. Let's move on. Let's move on. Google Meet has an awesome icon.
Really? Well, Zoom is my favorite color, blue, white, with the video camera. Tells exactly what it is.
Yeah, but I can log into Zoom through like a password, but I can log into Google Meet through my Google credentials. I don't really have to worry about anything with Meet because, I just go right in.
Well, the nice thing with our Zoom for Education account, we have it right in our little, what we call our waffle menu on Google. So through our admin console, we were able to put that icon right in there, and our students know exactly where to go to find it.
So we're looking at all these differences here, and clearly you're wrong. I'm just going to say it right now that Google Meet is clearly far superior to this. But I really want to focus more on what these applications can do, because it's not the tools, it's the podcaster behind the tools. When you're working with your teachers in Zoom, how are you doing this? How are you suggesting that they use online learning? You just did a couple wonderful videos. I just got done doing a webinar. It's not about where the buttons are. It's not about the ease of use. It's not about the fact that Google Meet can do closed captioning. I'm just going to mention that. But how do you suggest teachers who are kind of timid dip their foot into using Zoom?
Well, Zoom or Google Meet, and, I'll bring them into the conversation. It's like with anything new, a little at a time. Find something that works for you, and just, even if it is just one small 5-minute meeting with your class, just to test the waters and get your own feet wet as the teacher, to try to make that work, and then explore little by little what each button does. Meet with your team. You're a group of 4th grade teachers, or you're the science department. Set up a Zoom meeting and just explore together and find out what each thing does. Don't be afraid to hit the buttons. And that's what I say, whether we're talking about video conferencing or whether we're training on basic G Suite skills and learning how to make a Google Doc. Don't be afraid to hit the button.
Now, recently, Google Meet just came out with some new examples and new features. We already talked about the fact that Google Meet is now deeply integrated. And even while I was doing the webinar this week, I found out a lot more about the whole integration, where you can create a link. It can stay on the top of your classroom. You can change the link. You can reset the link. You can all of these different things. How do you recommend your participants get the Zoom links? I know I showed off sending the direct link. I showed off making a calendar invite and how you can insert both Meet and that other application through a calendar invite. How do you recommend teachers share these links to make it simple for everybody?
Well, we've tried several different approaches just to see what's working best, and various and what works best for maybe elementary versus secondary. And we're kind of coming to the conclusion of just scheduling that meeting, creating the link, and then in our secondary, middle, and high schools, we use Canvas, and in our elementary, we use Google Classroom. So taking that link, posting it as an announcement on Canvas or Google Classroom, and have it there. And then some of our even lower primary who may not be fully up with Google Classroom yet, they're just emailing that link out. And then some of my videos I'm trying to cover addressing specifically to the student and parents. So they're emailing links out. And then also with our Canvas users, that's also integrating into their Google Classroom. And then in Zoom, and obviously Google Meet does this, in Zoom, when you schedule a meeting, you can have it post directly to your Google Calendar or your iCalendar or your Outlook calendar. So it gives you all of those options within Zoom also.
You mentioned a word that's kind of near and dear to me, which is parents. In all fairness, which do you find easier for parents? I live in a world right now where my wife is getting Meet requests and Zoom requests. She's dealing with 6-year-olds. She's dealing with 3 accounts, 2 Chromebooks, a MacBook, and all of these other things going on. Seriously, which is easier when we're working with parents or, really younger kids?
Well, I'm finding it can kind of be a fine line depending on the parents' understanding and sometimes even the device they're using. It really doesn't matter which platform you're using, because you're sending that link or you're posting that link. And if they're going to have to sign in, that parent And that's something I've been working toward and made actually a tutorial today addressing those parents and students. Is you have to be signed into that Google account first. And bless these parents' hearts, they're working, they're doing their own jobs and helping their kids. They're logged on to their personal Google account and they click everywhere trying to figure out how to get to their students' Google account. And, it's even just back to the basics of how do I log into Google and how can I switch between two accounts? That's what throws a lot of our people off, I think, no matter which platform you're using, Meet or Zoom.
It's always the conversation of Chrome. Chrome is the school. The individual accounts are the classrooms, and you have so many
very good illustration.
So you have this little, right, here we go, right? And like with us, we have a school, and then we have many classrooms.
Yes, very much.
Stuff like that. And of course, they all have different Chrome extensions and whatnot. But look, Sue and I are just messing around today. We wanted to come on and kind of do a little light show, but really, whether you're using Zoom, whether you're using Google Meet, whether you're using another platform like Teams, the bottom line is this: Google Meet is better. No, I'm kidding. The bottom line is this: we encourage you guys to try something new. We encourage you guys to reach out to help your teachers, to know that everybody right now is trying to figure these things out. Every single Wednesday, we've been doing our Tech Coach Roundtables. We would love to have you guys there. I learn something every single week. And we would love to have you guys be a part of that. If you're interested, you can check out all the great stuff over on AskTheTechCoach.com. And, if you fill out our little Google form or reach out to us and grab our Google form, we will certainly put you on the list for the next week, and we'll love to have you guys on there. Sue, look, I love these kind of podcasts. Thank you for being a supporter.
Oh, me too. It's awesome.
Great. Now, would you just do us a favor? Admit defeat, please.
No, I think I'll stick with our Zoom.
And that wraps up this episode of the Ask the Tech Coach, episode number 91. On behalf of everybody here on the TeacherCast Educational Network, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you to keep up your great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions on Google Meet.
Zoom.
You've been listening to Ask the Tech Coach, hosted by Jeff Bradbury of the TeacherCast Educational Network. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter at AskTheTechCoach or online at www.askthetechcoach.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.